In the deep stillness of the Yak Valley, news doesn't arrive loudly. It drifts through the trees like breath in cold air, settling slowly among cabins, river bends, and trails shaped by decades of familiar footsteps. On the morning the silence finally broke, the valley felt different. The fog clung low. The cold cut sharper than usual. And something long held back was about to be released. For years, viewers believed they understood Tom Moore. The seasoned trapper. The quiet tanner. The mountain man who lived with patience, skill, and unwavering respect for the land. On screen, he seemed timeless, a reminder of an older America, grounded and unshaken. But behind the weathered calm was a truth only a few knew. And at the center of it stood his wife, Nancy Moore. Nancy never chased attention. If Tom was the face of their frontier life, she was its foundation. She understood the rhythms of the wilderness not as a backdrop, but as a partner, one that rewarded humility and punished pride. For years, she also carried something heavier, the truth about why Tom stepped away from the series, a truth she protected in silence. That silence ended quietly. It began with a call from a former producer. A rumor had resurfaced online, questions that had lingered for years. Why did Tom leave? What really happened during those final seasons? The speculation suggested conflict, pressure, even betrayal. Nancy listened as the wood stove crackled behind her. She had shielded Tom from these narratives for a long time. But she knew this moment was different. The story had grown larger than the truth. On the morning she chose to speak, Tom was outside splitting wood, unaware anything had changed. Nancy watched him through the window, the steady rhythm of the axe, the way he paused to read the trees like a language only he understood. She thought of the winters they had endured together. Not just snow and cold, but the invisible weight of cameras, schedules, and expectations. When she spoke, her voice was calm. She explained that Tom's decision was not sudden. It was not dramatic. It came during the final winter of filming. Viewers saw endurance, Tom pushing through deep snow, surviving brutal conditions. What they never saw was the cost when the camera shut off. The exhaustion. The pressure to live not just his life, but a version of it shaped for television. Nancy recalled one night when Tom came home late. The temperature had dropped below zero. His hands were stiff. His breathing strained. And for the first time, she saw fear in him, not of the wilderness, but of what it was beginning to demand. There had been a slip that winter. A hidden patch of ice near the riverbank. Tom caught himself, but the moment stayed with him. Later came a doctor's visit, not catastrophic, but clear. He needed to slow down. Age had arrived quietly, settling into his bones like frost. The wilderness wasn't the problem. The performance was. Tom felt responsible, to the crew, to the audience, to the story people expected. But each time he pushed for the perfect scene, he edged closer to a limit he could no longer ignore. Nancy told the producer that stepping away wasn't giving up. It was choosing life. She described the night everything changed. A storm pressed against the cabin. Snow muted the world outside. Tom finally spoke the words he'd carried too long. He was tired, not just physically, but in a way rest couldn't fix. He feared disappointing people. Feared losing part of his identity. Nancy reminded him of something simple and true: identity isn't decided by an audience. It's shaped by how you live when no one is watching. By morning, the decision was made. When Tom told the production team, there was no conflict, only respect. The silence that followed was intentional. Nancy kept the deeper details private to protect his peace. For years, she let the world guess. Until now. When her words finally reached the public, the response wasn't outrage. It was understanding. Viewers recognized the courage it takes to listen to your limits. To step back without bitterness. To choose wisdom over spectacle. Today, Tom and Nancy live with a gentler rhythm. No cameras. No performances. Just the land, the seasons, and the quiet they fought to preserve. In the end, their story reminds us that truth doesn't live in rumor. It lives in quiet choices made far from the spotlight. If this story moved you, subscribe, turn on the bell, and stay with Hollywood Unseen for more untold lives shaped by courage, humility, and the wilderness.